What's going on, YouTube? It's Chucker Kennedy, Sports Edition number 2. I want to talk about the Washington Redskins Week 2 performance against the Rams. I want to talk about how the Redskins won 27-20. And the keys to the Redskins' success that I said they had to do after the Week 1 horrible performance against the Eagles. I said that the Redskins needed to run the ball. I said that they needed to control the clock. I said they needed to not turn the ball over. I also said they needed to get Chris Thompson involved more. And obviously, tackle. So let me just get right into it. To Kirk Cousins, just start off with him. His performance, it wasn't flashy. He didn't throw for 300 yards. He didn't throw for that many touchdowns or anything like that. But what he didn't do was he didn't turn the ball over, which, if you don't you win the turnover battle in a football game. 8 out of 10 times you're going to win that game if you don't turn it over. So they did exactly what I said they needed to do. They needed to not throw the ball 40 times, 45 times. Kirk Cousins went 18 of 29. He only threw for 179 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. So not like super awesome or nothing like that, but solid, managed the game. You don't need to throw it for 300 yards if you're able to run the ball, control the clock, keep your defense off the field, wear out the other defense, and just pound the rock and manage the game. So Kirk Cousins had an okay performance. He didn't turn the ball over, so that's good. That's better than some of the things he's done in the past. Let's get on to the running game. Okay, the Redskins rushed for 235 yards in this game. Okay, so they did exactly what everybody's been saying they need to do, was run the football. Robert Kelly had 12 carries for 78 yards. Okay, so that's pretty good. Chris Thompson had 3 carries for 77 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he had a long touchdown run of 61 yards. Chris Thompson, the guy I was saying was the playmaker for the Washington Redskins, the guy that I was saying last week that they needed to give him the ball more, a guy that I was saying that was a football player. He can make people miss. He's tough. He's a small guy, but he's tough. He has football instincts, and obviously he's scored 3 touchdowns already this season in two games. So they need to keep getting him the ball more. And he's also their third down back. He's a good receiver, running back, receiving out of the backfield. He can catch the ball just like a receiver. He obviously can run the ball too. He can make people miss. He can get to the goal line. He can put the ball in the end zone. They just got to give him the ball more and just trust what he can do, and he'll get him in the end zone. I think if they keep doing that, we're going to be just fine. Another player they had, their other running back, fuck is his name? Pierre. I can't remember his first name, but P-Rod or whatever they call him. He had like 67 yards on like 7 carries, so that's pretty good too. He was a rookie, so he came on in the second half and really moved the ball and got a couple key first downs. All right, so the offense, was pretty good. The game plan, worked out. It worked. Run the ball, manage the clock, play action pass. To use the run game to improve the passing game. Don't turn the ball over. Control the clock. Keep your defense off the field. Keep them fresh. So when they get on the field, your defense has energy. They're not worn out, and they can make plays. Fly all over the field and make plays. So let me talk about the defense real quick. First, let me talk about Josh Norman. Last week he had a couple opportunities to make interceptions, and he missed a couple of them. He had them in his hands and he dropped them, so they got away from him. But he still played a pretty good game. All right, this week again, was right there causing havoc. He had 2 forced fumbles. He went in there on Todd Gurley and punched the ball away and made him fumble. And we recovered that one. So Josh Norman causing turnovers, making plays, defense stepping up. They had energy. They weren't worn out. The offense was giving them a chance by controlling the clock and keeping the defense off the field. Another player, Ryan Kerrigan, had another sack. A key moment, obviously the game-winning moment was Mason Foster's interception to seal the game and win the game for the Washington Redskins. So overall, I'll give the defense performance probably like an A-. They did really well. They tackled better this week. They caused turnovers. They got to the quarterback, and for the most part, they did a pretty good job. Preston Smith on the defensive linebacker or on the defensive end, he also got a sack, so that's pretty good. Okay, so like just key points of the game: the Washington Redskins had 21 first downs. The Rams had 14 first downs. The Washington Redskins ran the ball for 229 yards, or 230 yards. They passed the ball for 156 yards. The total offense for the Washington Redskins was 385 yards in this game. So they managed the clock and let Kirk Cousins manage the game instead of winning the game, even though he did throw a late touchdown pass to take the lead in the game. So the like I said, you run the ball, it sets up the pass. They got to bring more people up in the box, which makes it easier for your wide receivers to get open. So it was a good game plan. They stuck to it this time, and it worked. They looked like they were getting 4 to 5 yards a carry, if not a little more. The Rams ran the ball for 92 yards. They passed the ball for 240 yards, so they passed the ball a little bit. But when you're passing the ball, a lot of times you're getting big chunk plays or whatever like that, but then you're throwing an incomplete pass the next time and stopping the clock. The good thing about running the ball is it keeps the clock going and it keeps the other team off the field and allows them to have less possessions to score. So the total offense for the Rams was 332 yards. So not that much less than the Washington Redskins, about 50 yards less. But the difference was that the Redskins had the ball for 36 minutes in this game, and the Rams only had the ball for 23 minutes. So, there's 13 more minutes that the Redskins controlled the clock, kept the other opponent's offense off the field, and they weren't able to score. So, that's how the Redskins managed to win this game 27-20. I feel like the Redskins controlled this game a lot more than the score shows. They probably could have easily beat them by a bigger margin. But, they found a way to win, and they needed it. Next week's opponent is the Raiders, and everybody knows how good they are this year, and so that's going to be a tough matchup. The game is at FedEx Field, so it is home for the Washington Redskins game. It's a Sunday night primetime game, and the Redskins don't play very well under the primetime lights, but hopefully that changes, week 3 against the Raiders, and they can have a really good performance and sneak one out there, and nobody really counts them to win that game. So that's usually a game where they play pretty good when they're not really given a chance. It's when they're a favorite when you're worried as a Redskins fan, because then they feel like they take it for granted or something, and they don't try as hard or something like that. I don't know. But so maybe they'll come out with the same game plan. They try to pound the rock and manage the clock, minimize the turnovers, keep Kirk Cousins upright in the pocket, and use the play action pass once they get the run established. And I think that's the best chance and that's the formula that the Redskins need to use throughout the season, to win ball games. It's not about having a 5,000-yard passer and you finish 7-9. It's not about that. It's about having, being able to run the football down the opponent's throat, manage the clock, keep their offense off the field so they cannot score points, and I think that's our keys to winning. So hope they keep it up. We'll see how it goes on week 3. Overall, I give the whole entire team a B+ for the performance versus the Rams. They were able to win, so by all means, that's a good thing, and I hope they keep it going. Hope you guys like this edition of Trucker Kennedy Sports Edition with the Washington Redskins Week 2 review. Overall, I'm satisfied. They were able to pull out the win. There were, a few things they could do better, but whatever it takes to pull out the win is what they need to do, and hope they keep that going moving forward. Trucker Kennedy, I'm checking out. I gotta get going on my day. Hope you guys had a good one. Appreciate the support. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to y'all later.